Welcome back to Cossy Arsenal Podcast. My name is Cossy. Welcome back to a brand new video. Player ratings for Arsenal 2, Tottenham Hotspur 2. I don't think really we played that poorly. It was just a couple of mismanagement in a couple of times and a couple of lack of quality where Spurs were really good, especially on the first goal, and Jorginho slipping on the ball. And we were caught in the moment when he had just scored. So I don't think Arsenal really played poorly. Like they will try convince you. I don't think we were really that bad. But anyway, let's get into the player ratings. What are some of the ratings you would give some of these players? Raya, I thought was actually superb, especially in the first half. That save was world class. I thought Saka was good. I've not seen a good Saka in a while, but this one was a very good Bukayo Saka. I thought the performance was absolutely magnificent. Gabriel Jesus on the left-hand side is one of the reasons why we signed him, for him to be drifting on the right and also on the left, especially when you lack options. He's done that very well today. I want you to rate, honestly, players like Eddie Nketiah and players like Martin Odegaard, because in this game, if we are to be honest, Odegaard and Eddie Nketiah absolutely ghosted. Right, let's get into it. Let's start off with David Raya. I love his ball distribution. I love the fact that he's a very, very confident goalkeeper, and I love the fact that he can calm the nerves, collect those long, those crosses, especially that disturb Aaron Ramsdale. It's one of the things I love about him. Now, in this game, Raya has nothing, absolutely nothing to do with the goals we conceded. And I've seen a few people write on WhatsApp, on Twitter, already starting to go, oh, David Raya, Ramsdale should be back in goal. I mean, if Ramsdale comes back in goal, it is not because Raya conceded two, it is because the manager wants to rotate the two, not because Raya absolutely did anything wrong. So I'm going to give David Raya a 6 out of 10. When you concede two in a North London derby at the Emirates Stadium, it's always very difficult for me to give you above 6, right? It's kind of average a performance from the general team, and I think Raya will feel a little bit hand done by, especially with the goals he conceded. Nothing to do on the first goal, nothing to do on the second goal as well. Heung-min Son, good finishes, absolutely very, very good finishes. So 6 out of 10 for David Raya. We will disagree on this one with a couple of you in the comment box below. I love it, but I tell you what, a 6 for me is a fair mark, a very, very fair mark for him. Benjamin White, difficult to rate. I'll give him a 7 out of 10, Ben. I'll give him a 7 out of 10 because still average, but better than the rest of the players in this team. What I liked about Ben White today was the kind of support and the amount of support he was providing Bukayo Saka with. Go back and watch that first goal. Ben White runs almost like 40 or 50 seconds in order to come and give an overlapping run to Saka, who actually, cuts inside, courtesy of that run, and then, curls that cross that actually deflects off Christian Romero. What I like about that goal, and what I like about Benjamin White in that situation, he takes two players out of the game, and he allows Saka to drift inside without competition. So there is, when you look at the picture, there is a retrieving Brennan Johnson, and when Ben White runs past Saka, Brennan Johnson continues his run. He doesn't slow down. He continues his run to slow and take Ben White out of the game. Saka brilliantly doesn't pass the ball to him. He just cuts inside, and there is a deflection on Romero. Ben White was very good today. And one of the other reasons why he was very good is the wing play for Spurs. Of course, obviously Spurs, we were better than them in midfield in the first half. You expected them to drift to the wings. You expected them to turn to their wingers, Brennan Johnson and Dejan Kulusevski. And Brennan Johnson and Dejan Kulusevski were interchangeably using those positions wide of the pitch a lot of the time. They were interchanging those positions. But Ben White, not at one point in time was he beaten flat and fair. So I love that. He's improving that about his game. It's one of the mistakes he had in the Manchester United game. Rashford drifts inside and cows one in. You can't allow him to do that. And Kulusevski also does the same, and Brennan Johnson also wants to do the same. But he doesn't allow them to actually have that kind of joy. Ben White, good performance. I loved him. I'm one of the people who rarely appreciate him. Today, he was absolutely very, very good. Alexander Zinchenko, 7.5 out of 10. You have nothing against him. You have nothing. Ever since he came back in this side, Zinchenko, you've got nothing about him. He has been absolutely, flamboyant. Now, with Zini, he gets lost in the second half. And why does he get lost in the second half? He cannot go in front. He cannot go and make those advanced runs anymore in the midfield because he has an incompetent Jorginho behind him. And therefore, he has to stay a little bit defensive. And you don't get the best out of him. And that's why in the second half, especially when Tottenham Hotspur equalize, Arsenal don't create more chances. It's because Zinchenko is no longer coming in the final third. There is that Kai Havertz a guy that literally doesn't allow him to bombard forward. And then there is Jorginho, who literally is like a mistake waiting to happen. But in the first half, brilliant football. Brilliant footballer. Him and Declan Rice are going to be the future for Arsenal. I thought there would be a point in time where Alexander Zinchenko has to leave Arsenal, but I don't think it's coming soon. I don't think it's going to come very soon. It's going to be a long time. So Alexander Zinchenko, 7.5 out of 10. He gave a lot of problems to the midfield for Tottenham Hotspur. I think Visuma was very good, but that was only when Zinchenko didn't have the support of Declan Rice, right? Odegaard, dead. Absolutely dead. But Zinchenko and Declan Rice, classy performances, very, very good performances there for you. Right. The centre-backs, I don't know what to do with the centre-backs. William Saliba, I'll give him a 6 out of 10, and I'll give Gabriel a 6 out of 10 as well. Now, not because they really played very poorly, and not because they were at great fault for both of the goals, but I tell you what, the first goal, I'm not convinced that we can't keep that ball away, right? Raya has a punch, and he makes a very good save because he's in a very, very tight situation. He can't palm the cross above his crossbar, so he just palms it away. I think we must have a good clearance, a decent clearance, to get that ball away. We don't. And what happens is James Maddison absolutely beats Bukayo Saka, crosses that ball back. Now, when he beats Saka, there must be a centre back there. There must be someone to stop him, from entering the penalty area. When he enters the penalty area, someone must be closing him down. When no one closes him down, someone must be watching the run of Hugh, Min, Song, and Brennan Johnson and Dejan Kulusevski, and because those are the players that are arriving to get the cutback. We don't do that. Yeah. I'm a little bit critical today. I'm very, very critical. So 6 out of 10 for Saliba. I thought it was decent. I don't think there was an error in his game, especially when you look at the fact that errors have actually decided this game. Christian Romero, Jorginho, and Saliba and Gabriel failure to actually deal with that human swing situation, right? Errors have decided this game. So because errors have decided this game, I cannot give the defensive part of the team a lot of ratings. So 6 out of 10. I really didn't like the way we considered the first goal, but generally their performance was all right, to be honest. All right, Declan Rice. Let's start off with Declan Rice because he brings a lot of harmony to this Arsenal side. But then what he also does, he actually brings a lot of quality to the side as well. Passing the ball sideways, moving sideways, dribbling sideways, dribbling into the middle of the park, trying to create things out of nothing, making Odegaard good, making Fabio Vieira good, making Jesus look good as well. He's the defensive heartbeat of this team. And I hope his injury is not as big and huge as we are hearing 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks, right? So I'll give Declan Rice an 8 out of 10 for that classy first half performance. Let's deal with Jorginho right now because Jorginho plays almost the same number of minutes or even more than Declan Rice. Now, when Jorginho comes in, Spurs become better. Why? He doesn't press. That is number one. His interception is very poor. He's more like a man manager, a game manager. So he wants to come onto the pitch, receive the ball, and release it when Arsenal are 3-1 up or 3-0 up. I don't think he was the best instrument to bring onto this game from the bench. But I don't think we had an option as well, right? If Mo Elneny was fit, probably go with Mo Elneny. But I don't think Mohamed Elneny is fit, at this point in time. So with Jorginho, let's go with a 3 out of 10. I think his performance, he gives away the game. Like, even if I wanted to give him more, he gives away the game. That is enough to explain why Jorginho doesn't get a higher rating. So 3 out of 10. Fabio Vieira comes off at halftime, doesn't do much in the first half really. I saw his performance and he really makes Odegaard a much better player together with Declan Rice. I really don't think there was much from his performance. I'll give him a 4 out of 10 for his first half performance. I don't think there was much. I really, really don't think there was much. Kai Havertz, when he comes on, I also don't think there was much, so I'll give him a 3 out of 10, Kai. I don't think there was much. I don't really think there was much. There was that kind of little moment where he controls the ball at the end of the penalty area very good, and you think he's going to put that on target, and he whistles it away. I didn't like that. 3 out of 10 for Kai. Yeah, 3 out of 10. I just, uninspiring. Really uninspiring, to be honest. Martin Odegaard, 1 out of 10. Like, we've got to agree. If we are going to give Eddie a 1 or 0, Martin has to get a 1 or 0 as well. I'll give him a 1 because he's the captain as well. And his little runs, you could see the runs. You could see there was no energy from him. There was nothing. There was absolutely nothing from Odegaard. I give him a 1 out of 10 for he played a long period of time. Was it Kai Havertz really that killed him? In the second half, probably. In the first half, no. Not really. That connection he has with Saka was not there. The connection that... And I'm really surprised that Odegaard didn't have a good game. Yet, Ben White and Saka had really good games. And Rice as well. Like, it doesn't make any sense. It really, really doesn't. Was he affected by the PSV Goodson Park performances, which were actually brilliant from him? I'm not really sure, but I'm gonna be honest here. I'm gonna be really honest, guys. Right? I'm gonna be honest. Odegaard uninspiring today, and I don't know why. I cannot even try to explain why. Okay, apart from the tired legs, maybe I can't explain. We've not seen a Martin Odegaard trying to shoot. We've not seen a Martin Odegaard trying to cause problems. We've not seen a Martin Odegaard who's arrogant. We didn't see the brilliance. We didn't see the arrogance from Martin Odegaard today. It was just not there. 1 out of 10. I think he should have come off earlier than Fabio Vieira. I think he should have come off earlier than Gabriel Jesus, right? Not 1 out of 10, honestly. Right. Bukayo Saka. 7 out of 10. I mean, two involvements in the goal. A goal and an assist. Does he really deserve a 7? I'll just give him a 7 because we don't win. And I'll just give him a 7 because he's playing with an injury as well. He was electric. He was very good in the first half. And one of the explanations that Mikel Arteta has to ask from this team right from the time they enter the dressing room is, why are we saying Bukayo Saka good in the first half and you stop playing the ball into him? Why did we stop attacking with Bukayo Saka? Why are we not using Bukayo Saka, who is going to exploit Destin Udogie, who has a yellow card? Udogie should be on a red card because Saka was all over him absolutely. Now, I didn't understand that. I really, really did not. But 7 out of 10 of Saka, I mean, he always stands up in big games. He always stands up for Arsenal. Like, this boy plays every game at the same level. And I tell you what, he's not played at his best for a while. He's really not played at his best for a while. Probably the PSV game is a different one. I hugely focused on the Man United Bayern game. But if his PSV game is better, then this is his best performance this season so far. So 7 out of 10. Gabriel Jesus. he missed a glorious chance. That is the key highlight. But one of the things you saw is the versatility from this guy is crazy. So what Mikel Arteta did is he played him where Martinelli and Trossard should have been, and he delivered. He absolutely delivered. But there's one thing he didn't do. Backtracking, he did that very well. Defensively, he was classy. The one thing he did do, and the one thing that Martinelli really provides this Arsenal team with, is the sharp attacking phases. We didn't see that. So with Gabriel Martinelli, he will take Pedro Porro on. He will get into the penalty area, and he will have a lot of cutbacks. What we have seen with Gabriel Jesus, he was always on the ball, but he didn't try to get into the penalty area like Gabriel Martinelli. So I'll give him a 5 out of 10. His performance, very good, but average. Like, there's nothing in it. There was really nothing in it. 5 out of 10, nothing in it. Eddie Nketiah, just a 0. Just a 0. There's nothing. Absolutely nothing. And Mikel has got to learn a lesson. How is Florian Balogun good to go, but Eddie Nketiah is good to stay? How? Like, for me, Eddie and Balogun are at the same level, and that shows that Balogun is the much better player, because Balogun has arrived at the level of Eddie Nketiah within a shorter period of time, and Eddie Nketiah has used more resources and more time and more energy and more concentration and more focus to get to that level, and he's still not good enough. Honestly, not good enough. I'm not pro Eddie, but I don't like to attack him as well. I thought there was nothing in his performance today, like nothing. Eddie, 0 out of 10. Nothing. Like nothing. You know, when he goes back to his bed and watches that game, he'll go, I did nothing. Like, there was nothing. You know, when Mikel says that a player, pushes in training, players must push during match days as well. So for me, 0. Absolutely 0. Absolute 0. Let's just get to the manager and the referee. Mikel Arteta, he takes off Fabio Vieira. Fabio Vieira, as far as I'm concerned right now, he's not injured. Fabio is not injured, right? He takes off Fabio, brings on Kai because of the Jorginho change. He leaves Eddie Nketiah on full 90 minutes. The team is carrying Eddie Nketiah. We're playing with 10 men. For me, only that. I don't think he was at his best today, Mikel. I don't think this game. I don't think we have a point in this game, courtesy of Mikel Arteta. I think we have dropped 2 points in this game, courtesy of Mikel Arteta. So, Mikel, I just give him a 1 because I just give him a 1 out of 10 because honestly, the starting 11, he chooses it very well. And the confidence he has installed in these boys, in these players, is magnificent. Like, he's told them, you are the best there is. You are better than them. And whenever we play any opponent, we play like we are better than them. I can't lie. Saka's just given me 10 points on FPL. Like, that's magnificent. But Odegaard and Rice, 1 point. It's just not good enough. I could have more points, 100 points, if we had won the game. So, Mikel, 1 out of 10. I'm just not contented. I'm really not contented. And he's got to make it work because he spent $500 million. The referee, a 10 out of 10 today. A 10 out of 10. If we don't get that penalty, we lose the game. Honestly. And it was harsh. It is a penalty. No question. It is a penalty. But it is harsh. Right? It is really harsh because he doesn't have a lot of time to react. But by the time Ben hits the ball, and Romero will feel guarded by himself because if he puts his hands closer to his body or behind his back, there is a Tottenham defender on the line and he is going to block that ball. He will feel guarded, really, really guarded. But I tell you what, the penalty saves Arsenal's day. It really, really does. So the referee for me, 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. We'll get into Mikel Arteta's press conference to get more news on the team news. Sorry, on the injuries, and then as well, we will do the 5 things we learned, and I'll do a video probably today before today ends. I will do a video about Mikel Arteta because I don't think Mikel is having the best season so far. I really don't think it's either the injuries or Mikel is not at it yet. But he needs to be at it now because Liverpool are now striding away. Liverpool has 16 points and we are 4 points behind Man City. If Liverpool get or create a 5-point difference between them and Arsenal, it's over. Man City, I think it's already over. I think they will win the league comfortably. There could be a little bit of scratching in the back from Liverpool. Arsenal, I just think we are away. We are miles away. And we're not miles away in terms of players and quality. We are miles away in terms of mentality. And we are miles away in terms of how the manager prepares his team for every single game. I'll speak to you right in the next one. It's a long one, 20 minutes. But make sure you watch it. And watch that video that I've done on the 90 minutes because I explained clearly why Mikel Arteta has to drop Edin Ketia and why I think he's stubborn. He's just stubborn. He knows what to do. He knows where the problem is. He's absolutely just stubborn. See you soon.